Welcome to the fantasy edition of The Dot, sponsored by Matt Bauer's Auto Group. The biggest news with the Saints offense this week was Andy Dalton being sort of named the indefinite starter at quarterback, and that doesn't seem to have huge fantasy implications for Dalton himself, although I think you could do worse if you're in the dredges of going for somebody in 2 quarterback leagues or a bye week or an injury replacement. But I think the biggest implication that has is it's really good for Alvin Kamara. In the last 3 games, he has 7, 6, and 6 receptions. That is what we've been waiting to see again from Alvin Kamara. It was the number one thing we said we had to see if Jameis Winston had this job, was being able to get the ball in Kamara's hands. Do you trust him as much as almost any number 1 running back in fantasy right now?
Oh, yeah, PPR, his value's back, and it was kind of sunk a little bit with Jameis Winston. But he was an 81 catch guy literally every single year, and now he's back on that pace. And that's the way the Saints need to play to win. Get your ball to the playmakers, let him go and do his thing. I also think this will be good news if Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry ever get back out on the field. I just think that the rhythm offense, shorter passes, kind of really benefit someone like Mike Thomas. He's going to eat with whoever's the quarterback, but I think that you can kind of set your watch a little bit more by what these guys are going to do right now.
I think the biggest unknown right now is Juwan Johnson. He had 2 touchdown catches at obviously turns head at a tight end position where everybody's looking for anything, and we've talked ad nauseum about where Taysom Hill fits into that conversation. But is this sustainable for Juwan Johnson? The one thing that I think is pretty clear about him at this point is he's their guy in the 2-minute hurry-up offense. We saw that at the end of their win over Atlanta in Week 1. We saw it again at Arizona when they were in desperate catch-up mode. So in one case, you could say the numbers are misleading if you don't think they're going to be in hurry-up, catch-up mode a lot. But if you think they're going to be in their 2-minute offense from time to time, in addition to what else he could bring, are you starting to trust Juwan Johnson as a possible fantasy contributor?
I think it's tough to go there, but I think he needs to do more in this offense. And look, the tight end in their 2-minute offense has been a viable player every single year. They get numbers just by being on the field in those situations. Guys like Kobe Flynn or Ben Watson had a really good season just because they were in a lot of 2-minute drills. So if they have more of those opportunities, I think that benefits him a lot. But in the red zone, this is an area where they've struggled the last 2 weeks. For the year, they're at 64%. The last 2 weeks, they're at 40%. He's one of the guys that is a viable option there, though, and he's a throw it up and go get it type of player at that position. I think they need to unleash that more, and I think they need to get him more targets in that area of the field.
It might actually hurt him more when Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry come back than when Adam Troutman's back, because I think there's room for Adam Troutman to do his thing as a primary run blocker and Juwan Johnson still to do his thing as a primary pass catcher.